Crackers, tacos, and eggs. Oh my. That's my topic for this morning. It is Saturday, the 8th of April. Surviving on the embers of the edge of society. Stop drinking that water, it's bad for you. Can't tell this dog anything. Anyway, good morning. It is Saturday morning. It's bright, sunny, kind of cold, kind of brisk. Relatively early morning, and just posted video from yesterday. I really love being able to wake up and get straight into detail and load up a different theme or background. This morning I'm running the sunrise because we're still very much in sunrise. I think we're going to be in the 60s and 70s again today. Hopefully this like cold briskness disappears and we end up getting a little bit warmer through the day. Anyway, I called the title Crackers, Tacos and Eggs because I was making a little shopping list of things that we needed to pick up because I tend to do an early walk out with the dog and then make a bunch of eggs and wraps, and I just like to know that I've got all that stuff in the fridge ready to go. And I thought I'd do a little bit of a video about the pandemic because while I was creating that little list I realised that there's probably like 3 or 4 things that I always have to get, and I think it happened because of the pandemic. I think I probably wouldn't have survived too well through it on my own, living on my own, if I didn't have the Instapot, which is an amazing device. If you don't have an Instapot, I heartily recommend if you're like a content creator or somebody who's very busy throughout the day at the computer a lot and still then has to like get up and worry about food, unless you're a person who like brings food, orders food in. I pretty much survived on the Instapot through the pandemic, and that was rice, that was lentils, that was chickpeas, and as long as you've got those 3 things like in bulk, don't buy them in those like small little 500 gram bags because you're just getting ripped off really. If you can buy those 3 things in bulk, maybe 5 kg or 10 kg bags, or bigger for the rice, you can get 15, 20, and they're pretty reasonable. I think you can get like still today you can probably get a 15 or 20 kg bag of rice for about 20 to 25 pounds dollars. Big tip on it as well though is to put those, separate it all up and put them into glass containers. We don't like plastic. Plastic is going to be here long after we are, and it's destroying the planet and the ecosystems. So glass is not much better, I guess, in terms of how it's made, but it does protect it from wildlife and rats and mice getting into it and whatever. I once lost a perfectly good bag, massive bag of flour, really good flour actually. Like I used to use it for chapati flour. Can't remember the name. Elephant Atta, that was it. Really good flour. If you want a good flour, Elephant Atta. And unfortunately, I got a lot of mice got into it in the storage that it was in, and just ate through the bottom of the bag, and they probably lived off that with me for about 6 months. Luckily, I didn't use that bag. I'd already kind of like had a previous bag and put it into the glass containers. But yeah, in the pandemic, like I could literally make like spinach pancake fritter things, and I would use the lentils and the rice and the chickpeas to make meals out of. So even if I could just get hold of some sweet corn or tomatoes, things like that. Rice isn't particularly good for you. The chickpeas is incredibly good for you, especially with the protein. And then the lentils, you can't have lentils all the time, it gets boring, but I kind of used to treat myself whenever I could get hold of some feta and some spinach. And you've got pretty much meals that can sustain you for a little while. And buying in bulk, it kind of gets rid of that scary factor of like, how am I going to get food again? And that was a massive thing for me in the pandemic, is every delivery booking service that I wanted to order from was full, and my transportation was off the road at the time, and so I had no way of getting food, and I was too paranoid to go to the shop. You know what it was like, they kind of kept you suppressed and in, and even when I did go to the shop, it was kind of like, what are we getting into, what is it out there? Remember that time when we didn't have any idea what it was, or when we could get injections and they told you to stay off work and stay home, and you'd go outside and you couldn't hear a plane going over. It was like this weird utopian kind of moment in our lives. And in some ways, I really wish I'd handled the pandemic differently. You know, I had this 2-year window where I could have just been learning something new or applying myself in a different way, but I don't know, it really amplified what life would be like if the planet got hit by an EMP and all the electrical stuff went out, or, you know, you didn't work. You know, what would you do with yourself? And I think it motivated me enough that when we came out of the pandemic, it made me want to do more to add value to the planet in terms of what am I supposed to do as a citizen on Earth while I'm here for my loved ones, their future generation, and just generally the planet around me. Like, I think we can be really touristy in our lives. You know, we go to our jobs, we have our careers, we have our relationships, we have our houses, we have all this stuff that you believe you need to have, and you just live within it. You don't live around it. You know, you just live inside of it. Like, everybody has these kind of bubbles of what they see success as, living life the best way they can. So yeah, that was just a little video I wanted to do this morning. I've rambled on for like 6 minutes, but there are definitely 3 things that I would highly recommend you go and buy in bulk: lentils, chickpeas, rice, and get yourself an instapot. They're like 60-70 bucks. It seems everybody now has turned on a strimmer. Like, I can literally hear 3 strimmers. It must be the Lord of the Rings of strimming. I'll see you soon.